Are you in control of your dominant function, or is your dominant function in control of you? In my opinion, one of the most wonderful, amazing things about learning about your personality type is the idea that with self-awareness, we can gain a better control over our actions and a better understanding of who we are. Self-awareness is very difficult because it sort of requires us to grow in a sense. Once we become aware of our darkness, there's sort of this crossroads we come to where we either have to continue to repress it more, or deal with it, or process it, or something. Like when we become aware of our weaknesses, we have to handle it somehow. And so on this journey, I think a lot of us come into learning about their personality type because they want this process to be quick and easy. And Myers-Briggs and other personality typing systems can help things be a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. That's what tools are for. But it's not the tool, it's how you use the tool that will let you know how beneficial it is, in my opinion. And I think that those of us who know our personality type and are confident in what our dominant function is, we're able to use these tools to find more inner peace, I believe. Because if we know what our tools are and we yield them in a way that's more balanced and from a more self-aware place, it would be like if you don't know the tools at your disposal, it would be like a toddler messing around in their father's toolbox and like trying to pick things up, like trying to play with a handsaw or something. These tools can be used for good, clearly, but if we aren't first aware of the tools, it's really hard to use our personalities and who we are to the best of our ability. And Myers-Briggs and the 16 types, it's not the only way to find self-awareness, but it is a tool. So what normally happens when we are on autopilot is our dominant function is in control of us. As an FE dominant, before I started the journey of learning about what it means to be an FE dominant, and even when I was in the beginning of my journey, perhaps 3 or 4 years even into knowing my type, all type was really a tool to confirm who I was. And who I was someone that was always under the thumb of FE, always caring what people think, always overwhelmed by the emotions outside of me, always confused whether or not what I was feeling came directly from me or came from outside of me. I would try and control and manage and react to the outer world in a way to make it more comfortable for me. And I felt that was all I really could do, is react. My ego is submerged with the world of extroverted feeling. And so that can make us ENFJs have sort of a hero complex, sort of feel the need to save, because if we feel all this, there becomes sort of the responsibility of feeling like we have to do our part. If we understand that people and emotions affect things, and if we are affected so deeply and so sensitively, then it makes sense that we would want to leave a positive impact. But when we are reacting to the extroverted feeling, it's hard to really get control of that aspect of ourselves, because then we become literally ruled by, this is why Dave Superpowers refers to this as the savior. We overinflate this impact of our dominant function, and we see it everywhere, and it's just so entangled in our ego that it becomes harder to gain control of and really use effectively. Like many FE dominants, they they waste so much time thinking about what other people think and what they should do, and they waste time asking people of their opinions. They seek validation in all these ways. But that's not the only way to use your dominant function. You can either be reactive to it or proactive with it. And to me, that's a huge measure of success in a good person and a self-aware person, is what I look for in people and almost judging their character. I mean, you can go with this or not, it's up to you, but take this with a grain of salt. What I look for is people that are proactive with, sorry, my arm hurts. People that are proactive with their dominant function and not reactive to their dominant function. And whenever I coach people, that's what I try and help people do, is use their dominant function to as their sense of control. Because what I personally believe is that we cannot get rid of an ego. We all have an ego. If we didn't have an ego, we wouldn't have a name, an identity, a purpose, or a unique passion. If we didn't have an ego, then there would be no difference between me and you. And on some levels of existence, in some perspectives, that is true. We all are one. But the ego comes with being human and having a name and having an identity. And so you can't get rid of the ego, but you can change how you approach the ego. You can either succumb to it, let it control you and just react to it. FE dominants can react to other people, try and anticipate what the other people are gonna do and try and smooth it over and set out the fires that they see happening emotionally. Or they can create good vibes and push it out there with FE. They can create connection, create harmony by adding value, by showing love. That is a proactive approach to extroverted feeling. Now, every function has a proactive and reactive approach, and if you guys are interested, I can make individual videos on those. But just to sort of sum it up, TE, you can either be reactive to TE and just soak up every book you've ever read and just repeat what other scientists and philosophers have said and try and seem smart that way and try and build yourself up as an authority by pointing to other sources. Or you can see the facts, connect them for everyone, and be really useful in that way. Sorry. I thought I heard someone and I'm like paranoid about people seeing me right now. But yeah, TE users, they could be proactive by connecting the facts that other people aren't understanding and going in there and summing things up and making it all make sense and explaining like the bigger picture and like informing you what's true and what's not true. You know, like for SE, you can just be reactive and just say, what you see is what you get, that is what it is, I'm not going to change it, I just got to accept that that's how it is. Or you can use SE to create a new reality and create change. NE could be reactive by imagining all the potential scenarios and making sure that the bad ones don't happen. Or you could use NE to create positive possibilities that have never been done before. And so these are just some examples. I'll have to think a little bit deeper on each function, but hopefully you can get the idea and apply it to your type as well. But yeah, I think it is possible to use this tool to be proactive. And I personally think that can lead to happiness and success, and I think it's a good thing to try. So it's seemingly worked for me and it's helped me a lot in my journey. So take all that with a grain of salt. This is something that I work on with my clients. If you're interested in that information, all of that is linked below. You can do it. You don't need to feel like you're a victim to whatever your dominant function is. It doesn't have to be your own personal hell all the time. That is your gift and your power, and it's possible to reinvent that. So thank you for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you'd like to join my Facebook group, that is linked below, and excited to connect with you.